Okay, again, page 85. This week, what we're doing is we're going to refresh on double number lines today. Tomorrow and the next day, I believe we're doing tape diagrams. Both of those methods are methods I do not love, okay? I do not like teaching them because I know it's not the easiest way, okay? I'm warning you in advance, the first two ways I'm showing you are not the easiest way. It's because on those lovely tests that we have to take, sometimes it won't give us a math problem, it'll give us a tape diagram, and we have to be able to pull information from it. Or it'll give us a double number line and we have to know how to read it. When you get to actual percent word problems, you will probably not choose to use a double number line or a tape diagram. I just have to show you what they look like, how to make them so that you are familiar with them, so that if you are ever given a tape diagram or a double number line, you know how to use it, okay? After this week, we will solve all of our percent problems either using the percent equation or the percent proportion, which you will like much better, but again, we have to get through this week first. So, lesson 11 was on double number lines, which you already had some background knowledge on. 1A says, solve each problem. If you get stuck, use a double number line. During a basketball game, Maya attempted 40 free throws and was successful on 25% of them. When we do these problems, I'm going to stress to you, and on part of them you'll have to do this, is pick out this phrase. Find that phrase. Why do you think I'm going to have you pick out that phrase in every problem? Maddox?
And you know 25% of all of them, and all of them is 100%.
What do you mean of all of them?
The whole.
The whole. Because if you remember the phrase from the other day, it was percent of whole is part. If we can get our numbers in that phrase, we can solve any problem. Okay? So of them, right here, what is them referring to?
40 free throws. 40
The free throws that they
made, or that she
attempted. So 25% of 40 is actually the problem we are solving with this double number line. So, how do I set it up using a double number line? Brady?
I would say
If I know 40 is my whole.
so 40, you put it under 100.
Okay, because 40 is 100% of the shots, and I only made 25% of those. How can I figure out what to count by? Bryce?
Take 40 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, why are you dividing it by 4?
Because there's 4 places.
Okay, because there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 chunks that I'm splitting.
And it would be 10 for each.
20, 30, and I could keep going, 50, 60. How do I find my answer, Lexi?
You see which one is above 25%?
Yeah, 25%. So she made 10 free throws. The percentage and your part always have the same label. Okay, 25% of the shots she made was 10 free throws. She made 10 free throws. Does anybody know another way I could solve that we will do after this week? Percent of whole. So 25% of the whole, which is 40. What's 25% as a fraction? 1/4. What does of mean?
It would be 40.
40 over 4, which is 10. That's how we're going to solve these next week. Okay? Part B. Yesterday, Priya successfully made 12 free throws. Today, she made as 150% as many as what?
As many as 12.
As many as 12. 150% of 12 is actually what you're looking for here. How many successful free throws did Priya make? Where does my 12 go? Owen? My double number line, where does 12 go? Above 100, because that is 100% of the shots she made. And today I made 150% as many as that. So I am looking for that number. Colton, how can I figure out that number? Okay, how do I know I'm counting by 3?
Because just keep going by 3 on each one and you'll get to 12.
Okay, yeah, because there's 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, 6, 9, 12, 18. So she made 18 free throws today. And so far when I work them, I fill in all of the numbers. On the video the other day, he showed you this works just like before with the equivalent ratios. If I know this one's 3 to 25, and I'm trying to get to there, I can skip by using multiplication. 25 times what equals 150? How many quarters is $1.50? 6. What's 3 times 6? 18. So our skipping, like if we do the multiples, just like we did on the tables or the double number lines before, that all still applies. I usually just count up because it's just as easy. And sometimes it asks us for more than one answer. So if we just fill it out from the beginning, we already have all of them. Okay, number 2. A 16-ounce bottle of orange juice says it contains 200 milligrams of vitamin C, which is 250% of the daily recommended allowance of vitamin C for adults. What is 100% of the daily recommended allowance of vitamin C for adults? Before I do this one, hold on, let me pause this. My kids don't get ski very often. I'm a mean mom. Okay.
Do you give them any soda?
Occasionally, not very often.
You were the Excel part of the parade.
Okay.
You gave it to me.
I didn't walk with Excel. I walked with Prairie Farms. I gave you ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. On a nutritional label. Okay, this is on any label. It shows percent daily value. Do you guys know what that means? It's on every nutrition label out there. Okay, I have salad dressing, I have a soda. This one just says percent DV. Okay, with nutrition, they have a suggested percentage that you should get each day. Okay, and every item you buy that has a label on it, which everything should have nutritional facts, that's like a legal thing. They legally have to have that. But occasionally, like on small candy bars, if it's on the big box, that's acceptable, okay? But like sodas, it's all on there. So like in a ski, next to total carbohydrates, it shows that a can of ski has 47 grams of carbohydrates, which is equivalent to 17% of the daily value, which means 100%, let's just solve that. We can solve that. It's not easy math. We can do it. So we know if this is our number line, what percentage was it? 17%. I'm just going to write it here. 17% is equal to 47 grams. Percent of whole is part. What's our percent? 17. Is our 47 our whole or our part? It's our part. Of blank is 47. What's 17% as a fraction? 17 over 100, or 0.17 is a decimal. I'll just do that. Times blank is 47. Now, if this was 6 times blank equals 48, what math problem could we do to figure out the blank? If it was 6 times blank equals 48, we could do, but how did you do that? 48 divided by the one we know. So here, if we do 47 divided by 0.17, me grab a calculator. It'll tell us our whole.
And then we have to answer.
47 divided by 0.17. Should it be higher than 47 or lower?
Lower.
If it's our whole and our part is 47, it should be higher. 246.47058. What that means is for the average adult to have a balanced diet, they suggest you have about 246 grams of carbs each day. One ski takes out 17% of that suggested amount.
You can have like maybe 5.
Like 4 if you have over 5. But remember, carbs are everywhere. Okay, that cookie you just had carbs in it. The lunch you had, bread, everything has carbs in it. Even these cookies, carbs were 26 grams in serving size 1 cookie. So 26 grams in 1 cookie right there. So anytime there's nutritional facts, they give you the percentage of the daily value in addition to the amount, but they are equivalent. So in a ski, 47 grams of carbs is equivalent to 17% of the suggested percentage. Also, with sugar, that's another big one here. Let's see. Total sugars, 45 grams. They don't even give a suggested daily amount for that. It says you get 0% of your total fat, 1% of your sodium intake from a ski.
Is sodium good for you?
Sodium is salt. You need some salt, but you don't.
You can't have too much.
That's why they give a suggested amount. Okay, and if I go over my suggested amount on sodium today, is it going to hurt me? No, it's just if you continuously go over those suggested amounts,
It'll hurt you more.
it'll hurt your body. Just won't work the way it's supposed to work. It'll just have a harder time doing what it's supposed to be doing. Well, it's because it has oil in it, so it separates.
Yeah, that's right.
So this one has 7 grams of carbs, which is 3% of my daily suggested value. Total fat, it has 10%. You have to pay attention to the serving size because it says the serving size of the salad dressing is 2 tablespoons. Is that very much?
No.
Raise your hand if you eat salad. Okay, do you just put like a little tiny bit of dressing on it?
No, I dress.
No, usually we do probably double the serving size, especially on dressing. So if you are looking at this stuff and it says that it's, let's just do the total fat, says it's 10%, and I do double what I'm supposed to, because it says the serving size is 2 tablespoons, and I do 4 tablespoons, that means I'm eating 20% of my suggested fat intake with just my salad dressing in one meal. Okay, so that's those dietitians, when they do this, these percentages, they suggest what you should eat and consume to have a healthy diet. But again, if you go over it occasionally, is it going to kill you? No, but it's a continuous. If you go over and over and over, it'll just, your body won't work the way it's supposed to work.
Ketchup.
Yes, Colton.
What exactly is that?
That's salad dressing. Okay. So with this problem, that's what it's saying is, why is it okay to go over on vitamin C? Does anybody know what vitamin C does? Brady?
Helps your eyesight?
Not your eyes necessarily. Your immune system, okay? A lot of kids take a vitamin C supplement. That's just a vitamin. Usually they're like orange gummies,
Yep, I take 3.
okay? If you look at the label of those, it'll tell you the percentage of daily amount. It might say take 3. The serving size might be 3, and it might say if you take all 3 of them, it'll give you 300% of what you need. So what if you only want 100% of what you need?
You take 1.
You take 1.
My mom would always give us one when we had COVID because I don't know.
It's better.
Because it helps your immune system,
Yeah, she
okay?
gave us
So that's what this is saying, is this one bottle of orange juice, which orange juice is high in vitamin C, contains 200 milligrams of vitamin C. That's the actual amount, which accounts for 250% of the daily recommended allowance. Okay? So it says, what is 100% of the daily recommended allowance? What do they suggest you have each day? How can I start this? Addie, what did you do? First, look at the information it gives me. It says 200 milligrams is 250%.
I put 200 over 250.
Yeah, because it's telling me 250 is equal to 200 milligrams. And it wants to know
How much?
100. That's the number I'm looking for. Mallory, how can I figure out what I'm counting by?
So I went from 250 to 50 divided by 5, and then I did that on the top.
Okay, so you just looped it like that?
Yeah.
Okay, divided by 5. So divided by 5. And what does that give us? What? 40. Okay, so then we just count up. 80. And on double number lines, be careful counting up. When can you not just count up by 40s? Does anybody know? If the bottom isn't counting up by the same thing. So pay attention to the bottom. The loops still work. That'd be times 2. That would be times 2 would still get us there. But sometimes they skip one. Like they might skip 100% and go from 50 to 150. So you just have to be careful there. So how much vitamin C do they suggest you get in one day? 80, not percent. 80 milligrams is 100% of the suggested value, at least according to the book.
Probably actually isn't, but
Number 3. At a school, 40% of the 6th grade students said that hip hop is their favorite kind of music. So 40% of the kids said hip hop is their favorite. If 100 6th grade students prefer hip hop music, how many 6th grade students are at the school? I'm going to underline this right here. 40% of the 6th grade students, which tells me the total of 6th grade students is my what? My whole. So the 100 has to be my what? Is it a part or a whole?
part.
It's my part, because it's the part of the whole that likes hip hop music. So if I was setting this up in my phrase, 40% of a number I don't know has to equal 100. That's how we'll do it next week and then build off of that. This week it wanted us to set up a double number line. The other day I told you to always put percents on top just so we were consistent. Where did the book put their percents? On the bottom. Does it really matter? No, as long as one line is all for percents, the other line is all for our numbers. I'm just going to do 0 and 100%. What percentage do I have to touch? 40. What do you want to count by? Chase? We could do 5s, 10s, 20s. Bigger the better. It makes our life easier. We can count by 5s, 10s, or 20s. It doesn't matter. Tens, okay. So if we count by tens, we have to break it into 10 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Have to match it underneath. These should be fairly close, but If I broke it into 10 equal parts, I'm counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Oops, I have one extra. There's 100. Now what? Maddox, what do I do next?
You put 40%.
Okay, 40% is equal to what? This one right here has to be what? 100.
Yeah.
And that's broken into 4 equal parts. What am I counting by on bottom? Brady? 25. 25, 50, 75. Where am I trying to get to? 100. Let's see, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So I'm trying to get to here. I'm just going to loop from there to there. How do I get from 10 to 100? Times 10. What's 25 times 10? 250. So there are 250 6th grade students at the school. Again, there's easier ways to get there. If we would have counted by 20s, our picture would have been a little bit easier, but again, it doesn't matter. We skipped 4. Number 5. The numbers weren't pretty, but you should be able to do it without a calculator. It told us 10 pounds of potatoes makes 15 pounds of mashed potatoes. And it wanted us to, or wait, yeah, that's right. And it wants me to get to 15 pounds of potatoes. And I need that number. What could I break it down to first that I could then build back up to 15?
5.
Okay. Can I get 10 to 5? Okay, how do I get 10 to 5? Divide it by 2. Now, this isn't going to be super pretty, but it's not super ugly. What's 15 divided by 2?
3.
No.
7.5.
7.5, again, which isn't our favorite, but can we work with 7.5?
Yeah.
Okay, Nev, how do I get from 5 to 15 now? Times 3. Can I do 7.5 times 3? So 75 times 3. Okay, 1 decimal place. Yeah, so we'd get 22.5. So 22.5 pounds, or you could put 22.5 pounds. For part B, the math got even uglier, but again, this is all math that we should be able to do without a calculator. Just quit making your life hard. Quit dividing it out. So we have 10 potatoes, 15 mashed, and this time we're trying to get the mashed to 50. Trying to go there. Let's go here first.
Times 10.
What?
Times 10 would be 150.
You want to do times 10? Okay, and then break it down, that works. Okay, so times 10, times 10. So he went over to get to 150. Can we easily get 150 down to 50?
Divided by 3. Divided by 6.
Oh, but then 100 broke it down then.
It does.
Yeah, it's not beautiful.
You would have to divide it out. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 1 left over. 33 1/3. Could I have taken it down to 5?
I did really ugly way.
So
I times it. I did it.
10, 15, 50. If I got it down to 5, how do I get from 15 to 5?
Divided by 3.
Divided by 3. Now, is 10 divided by 3 pretty?
No.
Is it our final answer?
No.
So leave it as 10/3. Is that the same thing as 10 divided by 3?
Yes.
Yes. If it's not my final answer, leave it. How do I get from 5 to 50?
Times 10.
Times 10. Can we do 10 thirds times 10? 10 thirds times 10 over 1. What math problem do I still end up with?
10 divided by 3.
100 divided by 3. Same problem we did the other way.
I broke it down into 2/3 instead of 10/15. And I don't know,
You could have got there. It just would have been a while.
50 divided by 3. It got 16 and 2/3, and then I did that math. But I still
Did you get back to the final? 33 and 1/3. Okay, and again, on IAR, you guys probably won't get a calculator on those problems. So try and do them without. Just don't make them hard. Don't divide it out. When do you have to divide it out? At the end. Okay, that's the only time you actually have to divide out and get a good final answer, mixed number, or like a mixed decimal. Okay, and that's all we're doing today. You don't have a ton of time, but the last 10 minutes you can just work on your weekly worksheet, get a jump start on that. That's your only homework tonight, is to do that. And remember, today's already Tuesday. When are the weekly worksheets due? Friday.